We're going to compare managing and signing documents with SignNow and DocuSign. Now, the biggest reason why any other service can't even compete against DocuSign is price. And I'd like to show you a comparison chart I made showing the price difference between SignNow's premium plan versus DocuSign's standard plan. I chose these plans specifically because they have all the features you're going to need to run your business. As you can see, not only does SignNow offer more features, it's also almost half the price of DocuSign. So let's go ahead and dive in what your experience will be like as a documents manager. And I do have a link in my description for a free trial that doesn't require a credit card for both services, if you want to follow along. With both services, it's a 3-step process. You just create your document, add your recipient, and then send it. That's it. It's super simple. But if you want to also add required fields or change the field types such as dates, as well as have validation rules for like phone numbers with dashes and 10 digits, you can also do that as well. So in occasions where you don't actually have somebody's email address, you can just create a link and then send that link to them in any way you want, whether it's text messaging, add it to a QR code, etc. That's with SignNow though. DocuSign doesn't have that in this plan I'm referring to. You have to go to their higher tiered plan in order to get that. However, both services do track the status of all your sent documents right in their dashboard. And you'll also be notified when someone takes an action, like viewing the document or signing it. They both will also save you a bunch of time because you can create document templates that you can reuse and send to people quickly, as well as you can receive payment from customers right within the signing portion of the document. So that's your side of things. Let's go ahead and check out what your customers will experience. And the most important thing is they will not need an account in order to sign any of your documents. And when they do sign your document, they have 3 ways to do it. They could do it in person, they could do it within an email. So if they open up Gmail, they could do it all right there. They don't have to go anywhere else. Or they could do it within their browser. Now, while DocuSign has a browser experience that is very fluid with pinch and zooming, SignNow often prompts customers to download their app. And I just think that's unfortunate because most people don't want to download another app. However, SignNow's app is way more robust than DocuSign's. Both services do integrate with Gmail in the plans I discussed. However, only DocuSign's is going to do Microsoft 365, which includes Outlook, in all their plans. SignNow requires their higher tiered plan in order to use Microsoft 365. Regardless which integration you actually use, you can create, send, track, and sign documents all within it. So you never actually have to go to DocuSign or SignNow. Okay, so when it comes to integrations, DocuSign blows SignNow out of the water. They have over 1,000 integrations. So if you have a very niche or small software CRM, DocuSign should have it, while SignNow only has 300, but it has the most popular ones like Salesforce, HubSpot, Zoho, Zapier, Monday.com, Stripe, and soon we're going to have PayPal and Venmo. They also have QuickBooks. When it comes to compliance, both of them will actually provide you with a legally compliant audit trail / certificate of completion. And this is what makes it a legally binding record of all actions on the document. And it does this by tracking IP addresses and timestamps. They both are HIPAA, GDPR, SOC 2 Type 2, and 21 CFR Part 2 compliant. Although you're going to need the higher tiered plans for their HIPAA and 21 CFR compliance because it costs more for them. If you're doing government contracts, you're going to want DocuSign because it's the only e-signing tool that I know of that offers FedRAMP. So that's how they're mostly the same, but when it comes to their limit usage, that's where they really start to diverge. SignNow has 2 basic plans which allow you to have 100 documents per year, and that's about 8 per month. But you can increase that by paying as you go or upgrading to a higher tiered plan. On the other hand, DocuSign's personal plan, their lowest costing one, only allows you to send 5 envelopes per month and they don't roll over. And their standard plan is 100 envelopes per year. Okay, so what is an envelope? Well, they consider an envelope as basically one signature request. However, that signature request could have 10 PDFs in there with different signatures on each page, and you can send it to 5 different people, but that's still only going to count towards your limit. In case you are curious about brand trust, both companies are used by big and small companies. SignNow is trusted by major Fortune 500 companies like Pepsi, Target, FedEx, Apple, and its HIPAA compliance is good enough that even MetLife uses them. DocuSign, on the other hand, that's trusted actually by 95% of all the Fortune 500 companies. That doesn't mean they're perfect though. They both have cons. And the biggest one is customer service, especially SignNow. They are so small that they don't have a lot of customer service reps. So it's much slower than DocuSign. However, DocuSign, it's for big companies, as I mentioned. That means they might have more customer service reps, but if you're not a big paying customer, you're gonna be waiting maybe 24 to 48 hours to get a response. And they have a very aggressive fee structure if you go over your limits. If you ever do decide to cancel either one of them, you can just easily export your data into a CSV file. But a nice trick I want to tell you about is by turning on the auto sync to a cloud drive like Google Drive or OneDrive from day one. This way your documents and audit trails are backed up if you decide to cancel one of those services. As a reminder, that link in my description has a free trial for both of them that doesn't require a credit card. So go ahead and get your free trial, turn on the auto sync right away. This way, if you do decide to buy it, you're all set to go. I have a more in-depth review and tutorial of SignNow in this video here, and I also compare it to other low price plans like PandaDoc. And go ahead and like this video because I'm subservient to the algorithm, and by liking it, you help out the video and help me out. So thank you for watching. Best of luck.